Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live update with your Pro Traders. You have myself, Patrick, PC0813. I'm sure some of you may know my avatar name. And my man, Netzo. How you doing today, brother?
What's up, brother? All good, man. All good as always. Hope you
Good.
are doing also well. Hope our listeners are also doing well. So, good day, good evening, wherever you are. Uh, Welcome to the YouTube
Yeah,
free
same
session.
here. I hope you guys have had a good, I know it's been volatile today. Um, I've actually had a tremendous day, not even touching Bitcoin. So we're going to go delve, each of us are going to give you our look on Bitcoin. And then if you're not familiar with Pro Traders Lounge, we have pro traders who kind of specialize in certain areas. And we have pro traders who work on stocks and commodities, indexes, obviously cryptocurrencies, and that also includes altcoins. And Netso and myself, we slap the altcoins around quite a bit, like Will Smith on Chris Rock. I mean, we're just smacking them around left and right. So we'll go over a couple altcoins with you guys today that we've been trading very successfully and what we're looking at for next levels. So without any further ado, I'll go ahead and pass it over to Netso and we can dive into Bitcoin.
Thanks, man. Thanks. So, yeah, let's do a quick recap on where we are currently. So, there was a session not that far ago where I was talking about our bigger levels are bigger. As you know, as always, I do like to base my trades on the value areas from ranges. As you may know from the previous pool, so from 30k 70k range, we did have the value area low, which was for quite some time resistance, so we will mark it down. And as you see, we had honestly no larger high time frame closes above it, so this was still a little bit bearish to me until we explode through it or get at least one daily 3-day candle close above it. I'm not aiming for any higher, so we had nice decent trades at that time around this area with that confluence. What we now have to keep in mind is that we are back in this range. Where is the value area high? Of course, is somewhere around 49k. We have some decent amount of other resistance here, which I won't go through because I mean it's something has to be kept in the dark for just our members. So we do have some basic resistance before that value area high. Will the value area high be hit or not? We will see still about that. But yeah, just maybe I can go a little bit in where we rejected today. So basically, we have the weekly order block, which if someone isn't in Pro Traders Launch, we do have weekly sessions. So of course, I can show you this. The Pro Traders website where we stream basically every day. We have few sessions. So you have the London Open that was today, yesterday New York close, psychology, some launch quick updates once the volatility kicks in, Elliott waves. I mean, whatever your mind wants, it can get in PTL. So as also PC mentioned, we got stocks, forex sessions, and the one that I want to go through today is basically the Sunday session that was done a few days ago. And here it was discussed basically high time frame. This is a swinger session, so we check out from daily time frame and higher. And what level did we discuss? And yeah, as you can see, there was the level marked, the weekly order block, which is basically our support, our resistance. You can see we also drew a little bit how the scenario could look like. So again, this is all live. This is not something in hindsight. This is all prepared in advance, and we did take. I mean, we did take this short, nice, fast rejection, which I mean is every trader's dream. So it doesn't keep ranging. Um, And yeah, we got from here, like, what is this, 6% quite quickly. Currently we are at some decent support, which is again some stuff that we teach in PTL. Currently what I'm looking at, so a quick recap on Bitcoin. What am I looking at? Basically the weekly is still resistance. One option that might happen is, just because we do have the point of control just a little bit above, is that we come back and take the current high. Maybe not today, maybe not next week. Maybe we create some sort of range down here. So maybe come back test the value area low, come back, sweep those highs. So basically just create some sort of range, maybe some sort of wedge channel. We break out, take the liquidity. Maybe we go down, maybe we go up. That's again something we discuss every week on Sunday. But for now, honestly, the main key level for me is value area low. If that is lost, if we come back into some lower, older, previous ranges, yeah, we can trade those one. For the upside, we have still the point of control that's still not tapped, and we might get that tap still. And yeah, for just this range that we kind of currently are in, there is a nice juicy level that I'm really, if somebody is trading liquidities, they're really a must in your trading toolkit. So identifying those liquidity areas. There is one potential area if we come back, if we lose this current support, which is an order block, again, some volume confluence that I just showed you. We might do something like this. Where do we have the value area of the range? You can see the previous range, we broke out of this. If we come back inside, you can see the value area highs here. If we come back here, definitely looking for that liquidity sweep and looking for a potential long, of course. No financial advice. I'm trading with paper money. And yeah, this would be one option where price might go. Yeah, but I think on Bitcoin, that's all I wanted to cover. So big resistance for now, still not broken. Big support below us, so 31k, depends on what exchange you're looking at. It varies from one to another, but the mean value is somewhere around 31k, 31k.1. Again, keep an eye. Don't what the main issue is here, why we are constantly squeezing, is basically a lot of people want to catch that high. They want to catch the high, and they want to brag about catching that high. I mean, and that's final. I mean, they will lose like 50 shorts, but in the end, what they care about is looking for that one that will be the high. Even if you are still in a loss, even if you caught the high. So the main thing here is go with the trend. We had a lot of, so just let me quickly go so over our low time frame updates on Bitcoin. So just from yesterday, there was an order block here again. I was wanting to go a little bit lower, take out that lower liquidity, but what was price talking to me? What was it telling me? We broke resistance. What do? We backtest the resistance, find new support, and go with the trend. Go with the trend. Don't try to short. Don't counter the trend. So again, here still in advanced. What did we do? Again, if we go lower on the lower time frame, you can see what we did. We had a 30-minute order block. So come back. We backtested this. From there on, why refuse to just say to yourself, okay, we might go up. This is probably not the current high that will be made for this week. And I mean, you had like a 7% pump through the day. Just follow the trend, and this is my really honest advice. I see people shorting and shorting and shorting, but they have so, like, it's so obvious. Like, take the long also from CVD wise. Just just what I'm looking at, what am I explaining is also visible on CVD. So basically every range you have bullish CVD. Just starting from here, you have higher highs. On CVD, you have lower lows. Again, that's a bullish divergence. If you go back again on the previous ranges, I mean, honestly, higher highs, higher lows, lower lows on CVD. Just constantly getting those bullish CVD. Also from this bigger range, you can just see the big divergence on CVD. Higher lows, you can see where this CVD went. I mean, this CVD went to another country. I don't know, to another screen. I mean, it's you can just see from what I'm talking about. Don't go on and just counter the trend. Wait for, be patient. I didn't have any levels here. Honestly, I didn't have any levels here. Once we tapped and come back to that area of my interest, that's where I started to look for, again, prepared swing ideas, which we went over on Sunday, and I was prepared. I did take the trade, so no, honestly, no shorts from here. No shorts until we tapped some areas of interest. So basically, this is something to really keep in mind when trading trends, because you miss out on today 5%, next day 5%, today again next 5%, here you got 10, 15%. You just miss out the trades because you were short biased and didn't want to agree that maybe you're wrong, maybe look for other things, maybe look for other trades and follow the trend. So just accept what the chart is talking to you. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say about Bitcoin. PC.
Well spoken.
Oh.
Well explained, well spoken. And if you guys, the very first educational module that we did, myself and Paul, we went over what we call advanced trading fundamentals. So what we have found to be kind of the bedrocks of being a successful trade, actually successful, profitable trader. Not just showing money shots, but actually winning week in and week out. That's why we formed this group, because we found a select group of traders who were actually profitable with our own techniques, and we banded together. But the advanced fundamentals, one of the very first things we go over is that you have really three types of traders. You got beginners, intermediates, which is where most people that are going to be watching something like this lie, and advanced. Now, the difference between an intermediate trader and an advanced trader is exactly what Netza was talking about, riding trends. An intermediate trader will attempt to trade every single reversal, regardless of the data, right? If it just goes up quickly, they're looking for it to go back down quickly. They'll look to trade reversals. It's an intermediate mindset. Advanced traders recognize a trend, trade with the trend. You don't fight it until you get to a pre-planned area of interest. And what we've been talking about on Bitcoin for a long time now, our key level that I've had for quite some time, 3190. When that was broken, that was my key. I'm not getting bearish on this. What's the point? Have we had any significant retrace from breaking through the key level? Quite clearly, we did not. It was actually quite easy to see in one of the low time frame updates I put. We're just going from one consolidation triangle to another. It's hard. It wasn't hard to see that we're building liquidity, but you can see here, as this price action is not bearish. Nothing about this looked bearish. It looked like it was building liquidity above a trigger level, a bullish trigger level, above a bullish trigger level. So any and all shorts need to be taken with a degree of caution. Not a good place to short. I mean, you could, play the triangle back and forth, get a couple scalps out of there. But that really I warned everyone, this is not the time to be getting bullish, and this was definitely not the time to be shorting. But and again, not everyone out there is an advanced trader. And this was something I really enjoyed seeing. So I noticed this very basic trend line was forming. And I asked our members, it was an honest question. I wanted to see what everyone thought. I said a few days back, Honest question. Do y'all think that retail is watching this trend line? I said, after 2 weeks, I think they are. Right here is where I posted that. Sure enough, yep, we get people, we start breaking this trend line. You got retail that are watching this trend line. They're saying, the trend line's breaking. We got a short. Massive. That CVD divergence that Netso is showing you, those are people watching this trend line. You know, trend line gets broken. We got a short, we got a short, we got a short, and we have done nothing but explode since there. So I actually, like I mentioned earlier, did not take this Bitcoin trade yet. These pockets of seller onlys, just to explain them to you very briefly, quickly, they typically happen on quick moves down, bam, bam, and they happen due to a massive amount of market interest at that level. So at this particular point in time, you had limit longs that got sliced through by a massive amount of selling volume. It is an area of interest. If the bears were to defend this level, in fact, if we close below it and start moving down, yeah, that to me, that would be a mid time frame bearish. We're still above our key level. I'm not going to be bearish on this until that breaks. You notice that we do have, this is a scalp long level that's been prepared since we moved up, lines up with exactly what Netso's looking at. We've got our macro move value area high, our old channel high, a basic back test of previous price action. You know, if you break through an important level very impulsively, chances are when you back test it, you get a nice little reaction. And in this instance, we broke through this area of interest. So yeah, wait for a little reaction. It's a scalp long with potential. Now, if we get down a little bit further, we do have some areas of interest, but I'm going to explain them to you accordingly because it's good. A trade type is another thing we go over in advanced fundamentals. You have to know when it's time to hold it, when it's time to take really quick take profits, which is most of the time. Keep that in mind. Most of the time, your trades are scalps, whether you realize that or not. I don't care. I'm just telling you as a fact. More than 80% of your trades are likely going to be scalps, regardless of what you think they are. But you got to know when to treat them as scalps, when to treat them as day trades, as swing trades. And right now, I'm fine waiting to see if we close in the bottom of this, just like we found support on our old seller's pocket. Boom, found support, support, support. Are we going to find resistance here? Come back into it, then I'll look for a short. If we reject, you know, and it'll be a scalp. I'm not looking for a swing right here. Why?
Hey, Patrick, wait.
Yeah.
Don't give up your sauce secret because I think we need a little bit more likes. I think. I mean, we got.
You guys pump it up, and I'll show you the short level that I gave out when I was Ron. No, it wasn't me that gave it. It was Ron Burgundy gave it. I'll show it to you, and I'll show you the reasons why. You pump the likes up, Netso. You tell me if we get enough likes, and I'll go over that level.
Pump it up, guys. Thanks.
So we have some levels below. I'm not going to go over resistance yet. Netso convinced me. We'll go over some support, though. So this one we've already talked about. It's very obvious. It's retesting our old resistances. Will it turn into support? So that would be, I call a scalp long. We got to do quick take profits because we can't take a swing trade after this entire move up. You're kidding yourself if you're thinking that this trade here should not be treated as a scalp. That's just asinine. We've done nothing but move up with a little bit of ranging. You're buying the top of a high time frame move. You have to treat it accordingly. You have to take profits quickly. You have to secure the win and be prepared to re-enter if that's what you want to do. I'll get rid of this. Here we go. So to the downside, if we start moving down, we have our scalp long with potential. We do have potential to hit this and bounce and then head to the highs. So that's something where I personally would probably take 2 quick take profits, let it run, see where it goes. If it knocks us out at entry, we'll look to re-enter down below. And if it runs, it runs. I mean, it's above our key level. But that key level tells me that this high right here, is not safe. As long as we hold above 30K, 50K is on the table. I said that before, and I will be happy to say it again because it's what the data tells me. It's a very high time frame, but the data still plays out quite cleanly. So we're in a bullish environment, right? So we are at the top of a move. If you're taking longs, which is probably the wisest thing to do at the moment, look to ride with the high time frame trend, but at the same time, you have to realize you're buying the top of a high time frame move. You have to take profits quickly, lock in the win. How are we doing with the likes? We got enough?
Broski, we got double the amount.
Double?
So
all right, Ron Burgundy.
To go, man.
The Ron Burgundy short level. This is going to be a sneaky one. Now, this is going to be, I don't think this will be the high. I think it's going to offer a nice reaction, a very nice rejection, but I don't think it will be the high. But when we take a look at our impulse from high to low, this value area high level right here, beautifully would be retesting the midpoint of this range that we put in, last year, early last year. But yeah, 43,460. Found that when I was nice and drunk, literally drunk on air. Ron Burgundy had some scotches, but that is a level that I would wait to short if it's tapped cleanly. Now, right now, I'm waiting for confirmation. I have no need. Watch this from the 12-hour chart. If you watch it here, looks pretty crazy. Very volatile, right? You know, tough to dissect, very hard to get a grip on what's going on. Still, pretty volatile. What do I do from here? Here? Well, things get a little more clear, don't they? That's why I thoroughly enjoy watching the high time frame charts. I can just sit here and wait. I got 4.5 more hours. And then I can start to look to take a position and wait. That's like a trigger for an entry. I'm not even taking the entry in 4.5 hours. That just tells me if I'm looking to take an entry. So, yeah, at this current point, I see a reason for us to reject. We cleared a very important area of interest. I made lots of paper money on altcoins today. We'll go over that in a bit. But at the current environment, yeah, you know, I would like to see personally break below this trend line, chop around, and come back up. I really would like that, just because I think people are probably still have this on their chart, right? They got burned here. They're going to wait for the breakdown and short it again. I would love to see them get burnt more than once, but I personally would recommend staying out of Bitcoin if you're not currently in a position. At this particular place, I want to see some confirmation. I didn't catch the high. I don't care that I didn't catch the high. It doesn't bother me. I mean, like I said, lots of mucho profitos today. Doesn't bother me that I did not catch the high. But it will bother me if I hop into an ill-advised trade just because I want, you know, it's moving around. That's not why I hop into trades. I hop into trades due to probabilities and triggers. The trigger for me, I need to wait for daily close. Quite simple. Easy. You start trading like that, you're not so stressed. You know, you're not worrying about catching every little move. If you go check out my Twitter page, you see a scalp short that I took just waiting. I'm like, just wait for 35.8. When we were up here, wait for 35.8 to be lost, and we'll probably drop down pretty quickly. That's exactly what we did. Nice, easy scalp short, form a triangle, busted out. But again, Bitcoin, we are in a bullish environment. A retrace is still extremely bullish. Now, real quick before we start moving along here, why do I have this as a scalp long and these as scalps with potential? That would be a good question to ask. Well, we've discussed the potential, right? Riding with the trend, retesting previous support, previous resistance, turning it into support that could take us up, boom, to new highs quite easily. The logic, the probability, the data is sitting there. It's not hard to dissect. If we drop down a little bit further, we get below the key level, that's when things get a little bit murkier, a little more interesting. So let's say we do something like this. We drop down, boom, we do some chopping, we find resistance at the sellers only, and we drop. Hit this, boom, drop again. I'm not going to be belonging to the key level. I would like to see a full rotation within our old channel. If we do enter within it, I want to see us go from top to bottom. It's that simple. It's nothing more complex than range trading, wanting to see it go from top to bottom. Now, from there, again, this is just a scalp long because I think we would see a reaction from there. I don't think it would be the reaction that we'd be looking for a long to hold because I think something like this is very plausible, where we come up, find resistance because we do have our key level right here, a bearish partial rotation into some kind of liquidity grab into our point of control. We have tons of volume down here that has not been retested since we went and broke through the key level. So that could be an area, boom, if we find support, we get back to value area high. That's what our volume rules dictate. And at this point, they are rules because they hit with over 85% accuracy. So this is why this, I believe, has more potential than the level above it, because we would be tapping that point of control. And if we find support there, our volume principles tell us that we will move back up to the value area high, which would move us back up to the local range. You know, it's very simple stuff. You just have to plan ahead for it so it doesn't become complex in the moment. That would give us a little 12% trade if we hit that. And you know, if you take this, your stop loss is going to be behind. You want an impulsive move. You want a quick move into it. Boom. Do something like that. Maybe you enter when it comes back above. I do that quite commonly. And put your stop loss right below the wick from where you entered. You entered on this wick. You put your stop loss right below the wick. That's how we treat scalps. We keep our losses very, very minimal because our wins are not going, potentially, they could be very small. So we don't want to risk a big loss for a small reward. But that's what I'm seeing on Bitcoin right now. Bullish move up, broken through the key level. We have previous resistance we could backtest as support. We could just keep going, right? That's 100% on the table. We just close within the seller's only pocket and we move straight up. And I will be happy that I didn't take an ill-advised short too early, that I'll be happy that I waited. Now, that is it for me on Bitcoin. Let me go ahead and just check, make sure we don't have any questions.
Don't see. We do have one. I only trade in Bitcoin, so this is from Kunal. Do you guys have any reasonable monthly subscription?
Honestly, we give out, we're not a signals group, but we really easily could just call ourselves that because we've given out so many winning trades every week that if our members are not paying for their membership with our calls, then we're not doing our job or they're not listening to us correctly. Because just go to our Twitter page. We show you guys week in, week out what we do. We give these calls not after not an hour after we've entered, not the day after we've entered. When we enter, I say, I've entered. No ambiguity to it. Well, okay, let's go ahead and move past Bitcoin here. And we're going to go over some alts for you guys, because I know that's where me personally, that's where I've been cleaning up the last few weeks. And I know Netso does quite well there himself. So I want to see what he has for us. Pepe.
Oh, man. Again, if we get nice on the likes, I maybe share few things on two alts, but we'll see about that. So pump up the likes again, guys. And yeah, as PC said, like probably most of those alts that have pumped reasonably high, we probably did cover. As I said also on the previous website, our Pro Traders launch website, you had the altcoin section where again, every Monday, me, Michael, or PC, we are probably the main altcoin traders in PTL, and we have like each week we give out potential setups. So one of those, you might have been looking at Link. So this was just my call. You can see also PC here, like always updating almost every day. Where he
been trading the hell out of Link.
Yeah, Link has been fantastic. Like we were talking about where the potential resistance could be, what we need to get over to get that pump. So again, we were here at a crucial level, 3-day order block, point of control of the range. We had this basically funny triangle that we needed to explode. We made a fake out. We took all the liquidity. The probabilities on our side were to go up. And this is where we were looking for that long. You can see all was written also when we came here. And you can see that insta rise. And this was bought at $7 for me. I entered this a little bit with spot, but mostly on 2-3x leverage. And from there on, I think we made like, I don't know even where Link is, probably some $20, $30, $15. So yeah, all you're interested in. How much?
Just below 14.5. I got in on that today at 15.77 is where I entered in earlier today I'll show you all why
So
a
yeah,
little later.
for swingers idea was basically my idea was at $7, so you got 100% back on that. Then again, Doge was one coin that we made a setup, and this is for Monday. Like you get, what is the date? Today is Thursday, and you get the whole setup back. And this is what PC was talking about. I mean, for somebody it's cheap. For somebody the subscription is maybe hard to pay, but if you follow us, if you look at our paper money signals, I mean, you can get it all in one trade. Basically, even with the link trade, you could have made like 1 year, 2 years of subscription, like with these. Um, Doge, I mean, really a lot. One of them was also SRS, reverse or reserved reverse. I don't know even how these coins are called. But I'm not looking at fundamentals. I'm looking at technical analysis. And again, what a call, 8-hourly order block in advance. You can see the date. Like this is all live. You can see the entry where I took the trade. And from there on, this was also a 15-60% pump. And so on and so on. A lot of them. Alice was, again, one of them today. And so on and so on. I mean, I can talk about altcoins, really about altcoins I can talk about for days because I love altcoins. Have been trading them for years and will be trading them for years. But PC, did we get the additional likes?
Let's take a look. We'll see where
So
we're
I
at.
can talk about a little bit about two potential runners.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's go over the altcoins. We got enough. They're pumping them up.
Okay. So one idea is Pepe coin. Maybe in the previous
AKA my personal
previous
ATM machine.
your personal short ATM machine. Yeah, Pepe has a lot of liquidity here still above us. The point of control of the range, at least on BitGet, is around the daily order block. We still have a liquidity, again, resting above some lows. And this would be a potential trade for me. I will be looking at, if it's broken, we do have some strategies on how to trade it with an SR flip. But honestly, if we do something like this, make a range here, take it out, come back up, I mean, definitely this would be, in my opinion, this would be a nice trade, and this would be like 2x trade. And the next one is Aave. This one was also discussed on the altcoin session. Basically, we do have a nice weekly support area, which was previously resistance. Again, a 3-day order block. We have the value area high of the range. And for me, this kind of needs to hold, because if we do get back here, maybe to the point of control, we might just reverse again and go back even to the value area high, point of control. But if this holds, again, you might have some sort of range and make the next move up. So yeah, in short, these are two probable setups that I am giving away for free. Let's see where this will go. But again, we can trade these areas, vice versa. If they're broken, we can look for potential short back tests. So again, all talking about paper money. So yeah, that's all from my side. PC, if you
Cool.
want to go over.
Yeah, I'll retouch on Link because I actually have a different method, different approach. At this point, if you've seen a couple of our videos, I love impulse volume high to low. Take a look at the reaction from the volume that occurred within that impulse. Now, when we extrapolate out our values, bam, the value area low, point of control, value area high. And we kind of just go forward in time. You see where it came from, right? All the way back in 21 down to May of 22. We fast forward in time. First thing we did is we bought the breakout. I chased it. And I think I went over that last time. But yeah, we chased this out of the range. I still have a little bit of spot running, which gives me more confidence to take these shorts because I do have spot link running from around mid $8 in there. But we remember our value area low, which was a key level for us. And we banged on that. I shorted it like 4 or 5 times, made just over and over again. And because I followed my rules, I realized I have to treat these as scalps. Take profit, take profit, take profit. I was cashing out over and over and over and over again. So we had a local SR zone that was formed, mark that out. Never claim below the SR zone, never close below it. And we busted up through, we formed a nice range, hit the midpoint of the range. At the time, I just did a quick peek back and looked at it. Do we have a point of high volume here? Yes, we do. We get above it, we can really run up this value area high. So I would expect this ledge above our point of control to offer some resistance. Sure enough, that is what it did. That is what it did. That's where I'm in from 1577 right here. Took profits. You know, you get a big flush like that, guys can look in the lounge. I'm begging people. I said, even if you have a premium short, there's no need to fully close it out, but you need to take some profits. Do not treat this as a swing, because what have we done right now? If we look at this and just zoom out on Link, it's not bearish yet. It's not. It's really, really not. We've claimed the key level, claimed the value area low. You expect to move up to the point of control. That's what our volume principles tell us. Got that, back tested it beautifully, got the move up. Easy trade. And I probably scalped a few shorts up here. And again, I treated them as scalps. 1% TP1, 2% TP2. Stop loss at entry after TP1, got knocked out. A bunch of small wins before I finally caught the big win. And that was a very nice win. So Link, I would watch it in relation to 1430. If we hold that, we can still run up to 23 bucks. There's really not a whole lot holding us back here. We have this other little cluster of volume right here. It would line up with us kind of finding some resistance in this capacity, something like this, maybe chopping around back in the zone for another move up. So that's definitely on the table. If we move down, what I really like is a pocket of buyer onlys or value area high. It would be a big fall. It would be a very big fall. You would need to treat it as a scalp because at that point it's knifing, unless it takes a long time to get there. If it gets down here sooner than later, that is a scalp 110%. It's got to be a scalp because it will have made a quick movement to get there. You cannot count on that being the absolute low. So right here, buyer onlys, TP zone for shorts. And you can see I would also hedge down here, but these levels were marked out before we busted through the value area low. The data to me has not changed. Not at all. Like this was kind of like, TP zone for short. This is still going to be a TP zone for short, except you know what I would say? I would add this now. Potential hedge long zone too. Because yeah, that's something where I wouldn't mind taking a scalp long from here. Again, I will have been sitting in a beautiful short. At this point, my spot long will be knocked out, right? So it'd just be hopping back into a long, and we got to treat it as a scalp. So that's what I would recommend. Don't get too bearish on Link just yet. Wait for levels to be lost and then preferably back tested. That's the best way to get in if you want to wait for a confirmed entry. That is Link. Now let's go into another butte, Aptos. This one was in a live charting session with myself and Netso. So what we do is we put up, on Monday, we'll put up a raffle bot in the altcoin, like in the session questions. You can ask us questions, we'll answer while we're doing these. And on Mondays, we have a raffle bot. If you're selected, you get to pick the asset that we live chart. We live chart it from scratch. We'll ask you, what exchange do you want? Do you want perpetual or do you want spot? Whatever you want, we chart live from scratch. So you see our entire process of how we come up with these levels, and we give an explanation when we're done. Aptos was one that we live charted back, and I can always tell, back here, 23rd. And this is an aggressive scalp short. It hit, and typically say if I have a zone like this, you can treat this as two trades, the bottom and top of the zone. Bottom is our point of control. The top is the ledge where this high volume node drops off. Very simple stuff. Again, this is not magic. It's just having a system and staying with it. You can notice that both of these scalps, from one, 14% on the first touch. And I even said, I will wait for the other side. I'm not going to short this again. I'm going to wait for the other side of the short zone to be tapped before I short it again. 14% on the first touch, 19% on the second. One level, one zone, I should say, over 30% in profit off one asset in one little zone. Just sticking to your principles, sticking to it. It's not difficult. You just have to be patient. Now, what are we looking for from here? Scalp long with the value area low. It's got to just natural. That's going to be retesting these highs here. So I expect a reaction. Again, scalp long level, I don't have it labeled as scalp with potential. I don't believe it has the potential to go take the highs from there because we're hitting value area low. A more likely reaction, SFP the low, back test the local point of control, break it and head down towards the lows. Now here is where we could potentially see a scalp long with potential. We have this inefficiency pocket, would be a very deep retracement of the move up. So it would effectively knock out all the longs that have entered. And I'll throw some fibs on here. I like fibs just to kind of line up with levels, but in the end, they're just measurements. You want to do fibs in real time, go grab a measuring stick and put it on your screen. It's the same thing as fibs, honestly. But we'll put on our deep retracement fibs. Sure enough, deep retracement fibs line, the 0.83, 0.86 lining up right around our scalp long with potential zone. And then the golden pockets in the scalp long level, which to me makes perfect sense. Lots of people buy the golden pocket, give us a little bounce from there, take them out, and we'll get a bigger move on the way after we hit the deep retracement fibs. So those are two levels I'm looking at on Aptos to the downside. And last but not least, simple little trade that we took on Blur. Now, again, I'm showing you the exact same methods. Nothing here too complex. High to low, examine the volume of the impulse. Extrapolate out the value areas. Our value area low, key level. Guess what's been our resistance? Guess what we've been shorting over and over again? You got it. I was in a couple of shorts above this level, and then this most recent one, I entered right on it. We broke below, did a low time frame back test. I hopped in, we dropped. Simple enough. We cleared a pocket of buyer onlys, took lots of profits down here. Go ahead and mark that out. But I would like to see, we've effectively tested this value area high. I would like to see this low taken out, to be honest with you. Yeah. In reality, the only level I would wait for on this, you can see it. It's not hard for you guys, I'm sure, to imagine at this point, just seeing how I mark out levels, how I find them. Look at the volume of this. And this is kind of, you can see this big gap right here. We cleared the gap. Boom. This wick cleared this gap. So if we go below this wick, where's the next level? I'll show you right now. Next level is going to be the ledge. We'll mark it out accordingly. Now a ledge just means, we have different names for it, a volume shelf, whatever you want to call it, but you can see it's when you go from an area of low interest to an area of high interest. There's a very steep difference there. That's one level I would mark off for a take profit. Would I have, maybe a scalp long if you're trying to get into it. I don't think I'm going to scalp long this level, just because I don't necessarily like the way this asset looks in general. Just look at this. Let's take a look at this. So volume principles tell us that if we reject from the value area low of the previous impulse, we are likely going to take out the lows of the impulse, this low. So if we're rejecting from value area low, do we really want to be fighting this move down or just finding good spots to take profits at? Me personally, on this asset, I'm just going to be looking for spots to take profit at. If we go up, this point of control is going to be major, 58.8 cents. That will be a big level, no doubt in my mind. There's a massive volume node right there. We will get a reaction from there. And you've got order blocks there. You got all kinds of stuff right there. So mark that out, 58.8. as the next level of resistance. But as of now, if we start getting, falling down on Blur, this is when I don't say this very often, but this is when I'd be comfortable. If we start to fall down, lose the low, you can chase the short. You can chase it to the downside because we are more than likely going to take out the lows. And again, does this look like a really bullish asset to you? No. This looks like a liquidity grab, taking out all this action, months and months worth of price action, coming into a very logical and data-driven resistance level. Simple stuff. Again, what we do is it's not magic. It's not complex. Anyone can learn it. Anyone can do it. It's just a matter of applying yourself to learning the techniques. And a lot of this is staying patient.
Yeah, 100%.
What was it? I think it was Wade. If you're listening in, Wade, you remember this in general chat. He posted a setup that he was waiting for on Blur that played out very, very well. And he said he's still waiting. And I replied with, those are the two words that most profitable traders use quite a bit. Still waiting. I mean, that's the thing. Like, did I have any interest in Blur at all before it started moving up? Not a bit. I didn't give a rat's ass about Blur. I promise you I didn't. Started to move up. Then I went and pulled some TA, found a good liquidity grab level. Bing, bang, boom. Simple TA. Let's get our price range here. Here we go. Just from our resistance level. Forget the wicks above. 22% move. I mean, you can't argue with results. You can't argue with the data. And not only do we identify these levels for our members and try to help them find them for themselves, I will flat out say when I'm entering a scalp short, I'm entering a scalp long. You will be able to trade right alongside with us. So it's not like we just give you the information and leave you to fend for yourselves. We do give a lot of live guidance. Again, I have been a part of paid trading groups before. I left because there wasn't value there for me. I was doing very well on my own, and the value just was not there. I can confidently say that if I was a beginning trader or an intermediate trader looking to move to the advanced level, I wish I had this service. I wish I had what we offer, because I know that what we're doing is we're doing it the right way, and we're doing it for the right reasons. We don't need your subscription money. That's for our time, because we put in a lot of time helping people. We don't get rich off subscription payments. I promise you that. It's compensated us for the massive amount of time that we give in sharing our techniques and our live trades with you guys. So it's education, it's live guidance. I never had that when I was learning. I had to learn stuff the hard way. I really wish I had this when I was beginning, because I would have a lot of lessons that I'm able to teach people. I could have saved myself some money, learning them the easy way from someone else as opposed to learning them the hard way. But I don't know. We got a dynamite group of traders, not just the pro traders, the members. Lozia, shout out on today. He's got the Bitcoin high, had it marked in advance. We have just tremendous members that are learning, that are growing, that are doing better. I see not just money shots. I see P&L curves. Could give a damn about a money shot. Well, anyone can get one good trade. I'm seeing rising P&L curves from members. And that, to me, just motivates me to keep doing what we're doing. I know we're doing it the right way. Everyone always has room to improve, and we will. But we will keep pushing on in the same manner that we have always done.
PC, I would say just one thing. I mean, what can maybe we can pinpoint out from the group is maybe not the amount of members, but the amount of staying members. Because once you became PTL, you stay PTL. So
we do have a very high retention rate.
Members are with us from the beginning and still will probably be here. Not maybe some learned everything they needed to learn, but the community here is. I'm oversatisfied.
I couldn't agree more. Take a look at your NASDAQ screen over there, because I just liked what I was seeing. But no, he's right though. They're learning the techniques. They're making them their own. They're taking our data, they're putting their little twists on them, their tweaks, adjusting little parameters to see data from a different perspective, which is exactly what we want. You know, we're teaching our techniques, and we're not sitting here telling you this is the only way to make money in this market. We're sitting here telling you this is how we've done it. This is what we do. And we're going to teach you our ways. And if we want to work together to create a new method or tweak our methods, hell yeah. I'm all about it, man. All about it. You know, find something new every week. Let's go ahead and take a quick peek at the local volume here, see if there's anything worth discussing. I don't think there is, because last I checked before, yeah, we're ranging. This to me is a ranging liquidation pattern. You want to learn about liquidation patterns, come join us. Be happy to go over them with you. But ever since we hit the low, this to me is a ranging liquidation pattern. And as I said earlier, it's just another indication for me to wait and see where we close this 4/12 daily candle. Need to see where we close. So if you didn't catch the high, you didn't snipe the scalp long, don't worry, neither did I. And guess what? I'm going to kick the shit out of this market, no matter what. I will. I'm not confident in it, but I will be patient. I'm going to wait for my shot. And until then, we've got plenty of alts to keep us company in the meantime with profits, and we don't have to jump into Bitcoin trades for this just to hop into a trade. We have other assets that we can look at. Netzo and I, we're knocking out altcoins, but we got, again, stocks, commodities, indexes. If there's a market to trade it, we got someone covering it. That's our goal. Let's see. Do we have? Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I would bring out a shout out for Tiger. She's been with us the whole stream, keeping me really laughing loud. So thank you for that.
We got a question. Do we also trade with funded accounts? If I'm going to be perfectly honest, some do, some don't. I don't, because I trade with my own capital. I don't see the logical reason, if you have the capital, to use a funded account. Doesn't make sense to me. Just logically think about it. If you have the money, why would you need to use a funded account? But we do have members that do it. We have a couple pro traders that do it, and they offer their advice successfully. Me personally, I'm not into it. I just don't like the model. I'm a simple guy. You know what I mean? I like to buy low, sell high, send the profits to the bank when it's done. That's it. Keep it that simple. Let's see. Do we have any other questions to address?
Question on S&P 500. I don't trade S&P, but I think general Chris, Simi, they all trade. I stick to Nasdaq. I don't know why. Just the price is more cleaner to me.
Mm-hmm.
They are similar, but I found it more relaxing trading Nasdaq. So for that, I think there should be some other pro trader than me here to talk about that. So I know they have some prepared stuff in the.
I actually have a good one on S&P. We can get a couple more likes. We're at 70, get to 75. I'll pull the chart up. And this is actually, I was talking with Dookie. Him and I were just literally chatting. I mean, just having a discussion about what do you think is going on in the world right now? Like, do you think things are going to get better? Think things are going to get worse? And I pulled up the S&P chart. Let me see where we're at. We get to 75. I'm going to pull it up. So it's still at 70. Not going to pull it up just yet. There's 71.
Oh, we have to pump up the likes. Yeah.
I really like this chart. It's a very high time frame chart. It's a harmonic. You got to expand the timeout on B. But let me pull this up here. Let me go into our stocks and Forex section. There we go. Stocks and Forex. Let's go into, where are we at? Here we go. Let's pull this up. Open in the browser. I love this. S&P. Love this. Love this. Love this. Love this. So first of all, what you have down here, you got to zoom out to the monthly. And I want you to go back in time to look at the .com and the housing market bubbles. There is a very clear channel there. This is the top of it. So
you share your screen.
It's okay. You're up. Let's get myself up. There we go. Boom. Back in business. Okay.
Show it, man.
We up. So now this is again a posted chart from a few days ago, so I can't really pull D out. I do think D would be pulled out into further in time, but I like the idea of just a tightening triangle on the S&P. Why? We got elections coming up in a year. You think that the government's going to let the stock market drop with an election right around the corner? No, because whoever's in power is going to get blamed for it. So just tighten up the S&P, drop it on down to D, bounce back up to B, drop it back down to our channel. We have never retested this since leaving the housing market rise up after the bubble burst and we rose up out of there when all the funny money was getting pumped into the market. We have not retested the 1650 level. It's got to happen at some point. So I love the idea of doing a bat, because bats quite often you get a bounce and continuation. Bounce from D, you can see there's a logical reason. Just look right to left at D, boom. This was previous support. I could see a bounce from here, bounce back up to B, drop it back down. That's what I think. I think we've got doom and gloom ahead of us, unfortunately. I hope I'm wrong. I honestly hope I'm wrong. But this is something I had charted out. You can see here on the 6th, and it's going to stay there until it's invalidated, my opinion. So that is my opinion on S&P, is that I think that it will drop, and I think it's going to linger. It's going to make us wait for a long time, and then just drop it on us after the elections. After the elections. Timing is everything. Well, cool. Well, guys, it's time for us to let you go. We apologize, but we have a New York close session coming up in less than 10 minutes. We got to make sure that everyone is prepared. So without any further ado, I'll remind everyone that everything that we discussed today was for entertainment and educational purposes only, and all trades discussed were paper trades. With that being said, wish you all a very happy rest of the week. Remember, if you're not in a trade, just stay patient. Let the data come to you. Do not go chasing it. And stay safe out there, guys. Protect your capital.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.